Everybody, it's Eileen and I'm cooking in the kitchen again. And what's in the pantry? Okay, so today I'm making pot roast, which actually happens to be one of my absolutely favorite meals. Mom used to always make it on many Saturdays. We would have pot roast, which was roast beef, potatoes, carrots, and onions. My favorite part of pot roast is absolutely the carrots, the potatoes, and the gravy. But I wanted to show you what I was using, and I wanted to show you guys how to make gravy, because one of the number one things that I've had people ask me over the years of having done Pamper Chef, doing my cooking show, especially in the fall, was just come and make gravy for the holiday dinner. I'm like, really? It's not that hard. They're like, yes, it is. So I'm going to teach you again. Okay, but I wanted to show you, this is our new enameled skillet that we have. So I made my pot roast in it, and I was so excited because it's not real deep. Okay, here, let me show you. See, it's not very thick. What I love about this, it fits in my top stove, because my top stove, you can see here, it's not very big, and this fits. My big one will not. My 6-quart enamel roaster, my deep dish cover baker, none of them will fit in it because it's too narrow, but I love my little oven. Okay, so here's what's cool, is see these cool knobbies? Okay, so I call them the knobbies. Pamper Chef doesn't, but I call them the knobbies. Here's why I call them my knobbies. I call them my knobbies, you guys, because when you're cooking with either this new skillet or you're cooking with our the 6-quart Dutch oven enamel casserole, what makes this so incredibly great is because of the fact that what it has, by having those little knobs, it self-bastes itself the whole time it's cooking, right? Because how many times have you ever put, like I made pork chops the other day, last week, and I used this skillet and I cooked with it on the stove, because one of the nice things about this pan is the fact that I can either cook, yeah, there's lots of carrots in here because I, like I just said, I love carrots. So here's my question for those of you who are watching me live. Let me know if you were live with me, or if you're watching me later. Which part of the pot roast do you love the most? Is it the veggies or the roast itself? Or maybe it's both. I just happen to be the one who loves it. So, every time I'm doing this, I put, I don't know, probably, I'm only cooking for 2, and I probably put easily, 2 pounds of carrots in here, just because I love the carrots so much, right, and potatoes. So, the way I made this was I went ahead and I heated my skillet up because, it's stovetop safe as well as oven safe. And once it was hot, you want to heat your skillet up always first. Then I went ahead and I've got all this extra liquid in here, so I'm just gonna drain it back in for my gravy. There we go. Okay. And so I browned my pot roast. Then once I got done browning the pot roast, what I went ahead and did was I put some oil in the pan, and then browned it, and I put my seasonings on it. These are my meat lifters. Watch this. Just pick that. Look, I just pick that roast right up with my meat lifters. And you can shred them. They're actually called our shredders. So what I did was, this is the 6-quart, and that's the 2.5-quart. I'm sorry. This is the 1-quart. These are enameled insulated bowls. They're stainless steel on top, but here's what's really cool about them is because of the fact that they're insulated. See, look at it. I'm gonna put the lid on, and you can see it's steaming already. What it's gonna do it's going to keep my food hot while I make the gravy. So what I did was, here's the key to gravy. It's warm water and flour, okay? So what I did was I added some warm water and flour. Bring your juices up to a boil. As you're adding your water and flour mixture to your skillet, you want to make sure that you keep stirring. I'm using, this is actually what this is this is our salad maker, and it has all your measurements on the outside, even has dressings on it, and then on my website it has more. Here's some of the great uses I've seen people who use this, which I thought was really, really fun, was that they went ahead, they use it like for people who have to walk up and downstairs to the laundry, or they go to the laundry, they put their laundry soap in there, right? Those, because you get those great big containers, so it was much easier. I also know people who put their creamer in it, which I thought was really, really smart. So I'm always dribbling all over the place when I pour the cream. But I also love to just use it. Now, you guys can't really see this, but in the bottom of the pans, and this happens whenever you're browning food or you're roasting, it looks like you have food that has went ahead and it is burned to the bottom of the pan. That's not burnt, guys. That's called the flan. So what is the flan? The flan is all those juices that are at the bottom. So what you want is you want all those wonderful juices in what you're doing when you're cooking, right? Because it's going to give the flavor to your sauces. So how do you get them out? You got to add liquid, right? So once you take the meat out, right, you can get that liquid and you can make that great sauce. You can add, like I'm making gravy, so I'm using warm water and flour. You can also use cornstarch or tapioca too. I am eat gluten-free, have for, I don't know, 15 years or more now. So I use a gluten-free flour. But before I did that, because it was really hard to find it, I use cornstarch, right? And I still do that sometimes. Or I'll add tapioca. It's the same thing, warm water in that. So it works the same way. Then when you add it, you have to bring it to a boil, right? When you bring it to a boil, that's how you're going to get your gravy to thicken. That's the other thing. Now, when I'm making a sauce, what else can you add to make your sauce? You know, you could deglaze the plant. That's what you're doing when you're removing the flan. You're deglazing. So how else could you do it? Go ahead and add, you could add like white wine, red wine, right? That'll deglaze it. Chicken, any type of a broth, vegetable, chicken, beef broth, that will work too. Doing the gravy like here, that will work. And, you know, really, it's adding that liquid. Then, if you want just like a gravy, which is what I am, it's now thickening all up. You can see, it's much thicker than what it was. It's gravy. Now, if I was just deglazing the pan, I wouldn't have added this much liquid. I probably would have had almost no liquid in the bottom of the pan too. So if I was going to do that, I'm not going to add a lot of liquid. So it's going to, as it deglazes, it's going to thicken up. It's also going to intensify the flavor. And that's how you get those incredible sauces, right? That you lots of times go and have. Okay, so who's with me? I got to put my glasses on, you guys. I can't see without my glasses, right? Oh, hey, Kim. I've got Kim. We've got Jessica. I've got Cheryl and Tracy. Okay, so see how this is boiling so nicely here. Oh, by the way, this is our new, let me see, I'll tell you what this is called. Okay, so here's the challenge, you guys. All the new products, and then I gotta learn all the new names. Oh yeah, they all came the 1st of September. This is my new sauce whisk, right? But look at the cool angle. Whoops, now I'm getting gravy all over the floor again. Okay, see? How cool is that? And this is nylon, so it doesn't ruin my pan. Okay, so, let me show you my gravy that I have made, right? Look at, see, this is what you want. See all that bubbling? Okay, so once it gets to where it comes to a boil, that's how you get great gravy, right? So, the other thing I'm gonna do, okay, I've got my little microwave ribs here. Okay, so the other thing is, when you're cutting your meats, right, you want to make sure that you always rest your meat for 10 minutes. I don't care if it's chicken, pork, or beef. You need to let it rest. Now, why do we let it rest? You let it rest, you guys, because then the juices go back into the meat and they're not all over the cutting board. So, what I did was, I made pot roast. That's what I'm making, you guys. And so I had potatoes, carrots, and onions. And then for the sauce that I made before I cooked it, what I did was I went ahead and I browned my meat, right? Before I put it in the oven. See how nice my roast looks, right? Meat lifters, must have. They're also great shredders. But here's the cool thing. So this is insulated, these bowls. So I am just going to put the lid on. Look at this. Okay, watch. See? Whoosh. The lid sticks with it, so that way you don't have to worry. Now, you guys are looking at any of this stuff going, oh, gee, Eileen, you talk fast. Well, we all know that. You know, let me know if there's anything on the list that you think, oh my gosh, I should have this. We really should. So I'm going to I'm using my serrated knife. Some people call them bread knife. I use a serrated. Einstein is watching me. See Einstein? That's my Einstein. Notice the face. He's like, maybe she'll feed me. She's not going to. That's beat, right? Okay, so when you cut your roast, you want to cut against the grain. The reason is so then you don't shred your meat. So I am just using my bread knife, my serrated knife. My mom always called it the bread knife, but it's called serrated. The reason you cut with a serrated, because it just cuts through and you're not gonna rip it apart, and then it doesn't all shred. That's the other reason. You know, if you love cooking with cast iron, or you've ever were afraid about cooking with cast iron, these new enameled ones make life great. Why? Because they're enameled, right? So they're cast iron, so you get all the great cooking power with cast iron, which means they're stovetop and they're oven safe on any kind of stove that you're going to cook with. And because they're enameled, this is the other reason why I really love them, is because of the fact that there's a non-stick to them, right? So look at, okay, so here's the other reason. I've been so impressed. See my knobbies, you guys? That's how it's self-based. So my turn. So, let me show you what we've got. So, look at, gravy is done. This is actually the first meal I ever made cooked for Mark. He says that's why he married me. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe it is. Actually, I think it's because his dogs like me. He also told me that was the other reason. Okay, we have the carrots and potatoes in this one. And the rest of the potatoes are in here. Dinner is done. I'm going to make a cabbage salad, so that'll just take me a couple more minutes. Dinner is done. I tell you guys, these enameled bowls, these serving bowls, are the best thing. I use them for just regular everyday meals, because how many times are we not, dinner's not quite all done and the food is staying hot. So anyways, that's dinner tonight. So what are you guys all eating? So glad that you guys all were able to join me again, because one day I will hopefully get to see everybody in their kitchens again. So, you ready to have me come back into your kitchen again? Because if you live near me, we all know who we all are. I'm ready to head back to the kitchen. If not, who wants to check out my new table party that I just started? It's so cool. There's even a virtual kitchen in it. So leave a note. Let me know. What do you think? And what should I cook? Should I make a dessert? Should I make another main dish? I have to make a carrot cake for Child's birthday because it's his favorite. And then, of course, I have to ship it. Let me know if you guys want me to teach you how I make that, too. More than happy. Okay, I'm going to go eat. Thanks, everybody, for joining me tonight. Have a great evening. Bye, everybody.